Today I'm going to show you how to paint this nativity scene. It's super easy in this step-by-step tutorial. This was one of my earliest painting tutorials and I've made it better for you to enjoy. So if you celebrate Christmas and you want to keep it centered around Christ, this is a great painting tutorial. Even my kids have painted this along with me. So great family painting, or paint it with your church group, have a paint night, have some me time, whatever you wish. This is my gift to you to share this painting tutorial. So let's get started. Now you're only going to need a few things for this. I'm using paper this year for my paintings. You can use canvas panels if you want. I just want to make this very simple for people who can't get a hold of supplies or anything like that. Keep it cheap for them. So that's why I'm choosing this, but you can choose something a little bit nicer. It's also easy to put paper in a frame. And then you just need a few colors, your black, your blue, and your white. Now, I don't really care what blue you have. It doesn't really matter. Just use whatever blue you have, a dark blue, and then you lighten it up with your white. And then I have a few brushes. This comes in a set, and then this one is a wash brush that came by itself. So this is a 1-inch wash brush is what it's called, and then this is a 1/2 inch flat. This is a 8 round, and then this one's considered a detail, and it's probably like a 3 or 2 or 0, 1, whatever. This is how big it is against my finger. It does not have the number anymore on it, so that's why I can't tell you exactly. You can go ahead and get the reference photo if you need to right over here by becoming a Createful Art member. Then you just need paper towel and water and you're good to go. I'm just going to grab my round brush and notice how my paper is this way. So it's not long ways, it's flat going this direction. It's a rectangle. So now I'm going to grab my round brush and I'm going to start right here. So not exactly in the middle, just a little bit below that, and I'm pushing around in a circle. Now I'm going to grab my turquoise-ish blue color and I'm going to go around that like this, just really simple. And you still add some white within that. So if you have this turquoisey color, then that works. If you don't and you just have a blue, just mix a light blue. I'll show you a little bit of the difference here with the light blue and the color you get. See, this is the light blue. So just having that turquoise just makes it a little warmer. That's why I did that. And I have all these colors available to me because I have pre-mixed them. So if you want to get the color mixing video to help you paint along with all of these tutorials, go ahead and get that right here. It's the Createful Christmas mixing video from last year. So we're using the same palette this year. So there's double the amount of projects that you can use with the same palette. I like to keep things simple that way. So that is how we're doing it. So I just softened that area right there because it was a little bit too contrasted. And if you find that your paint is skipping, just add a little water on your brush and it helps it blend a little bit better. Especially on paper, you'll find that if you're using a canvas that it glides a little bit better than this. And that's because the paper is going to soak it up, all the moisture, which is just fine. So basically what I'm doing is I'm making this round area, moving around, and then I go to a darker blue on the outside. So just making a circle, and notice how I'm not even worrying about being perfect about it at all. There's no need to be perfect. And if you can hear the lawnmower outside, that is because I live in an RV and they are mowing the lawn, and this happens like almost every time I try to record. It's lovely. So keep pushing this to the outside, and as you go to the outside you get darker, so don't mix. See, this is the non-mix of the color. Don't mix it with your white. Again, just keep going around and around and around. And then once you get to a point where you've hit the darkest color you start adding black to your paint. Funny thing about when they're mowing lawns too is that they're constantly going over the same areas and so they stay in the area a long time, and so like an hour later I'd be able to show you this. So please just ignore the lawnmower if you can. They're just gonna hang out. Go back and forth, same area. Oh yay, a little bit less loud. So anytime you want to just lighten some of the area up, just come out here with a little bit of that lighter color. It just keeps getting darker and darker. So I like to grab my wash brush for the black on the outside, and I just start doing this and adding that black. It's a big circle. Great thing about acrylics is it comes off really easily from a table or whatever, so. Just follow around, get those edges, and then when I come back in, then I'll add the dark blue and the black together. But you'll be able to see the brush strokes, so try to go in a circle around your painting here. And don't add water to your brush. If it starts skipping, just add more black. Otherwise you'll make your color transparent. It'll start showing some of that white underneath and it won't be as dark. So now mix your blue and your black together for this part. Sometimes it helps to tape down your painting, especially when it's on paper. Just so you can hold it down. See how that goes nicely into the black. Stay. Go. Add a little bit more blue. Get close to this area. See how easy this painting is so far. It's just a really fun, easy painting. Go around in a circle. Add just a little bit of light coming around. So a little bit of light to my thicker brush, just so that it can mix. Here we go. Now the reason why you want it to be a little bit lighter in a wider way is because what goes on top is going to be a silhouette. So if it's black, you won't be able to see the silhouette. So I'm just taking it out a little bit wider so that there's going to be enough contrast between the silhouette and the sky. So your circle should go past this right here, so you can see it at the top, but it goes past here on the bottom. The reason for that is because the baby Jesus is going to be lower, and then we also have a star up here. So because we have that star, I'm going to take my round and I'm going to grab my white. And I'm going just right above the middle point here, right above it, right here, still on some of that dark area. And I'm making a round circle. Hope you can see that. There. And then I do kind of the same thing as I go around that circle with a little bit of the other colors. So the lighter blue, that kind of thing, because this is also going to be glowing. I don't worry about it being exactly perfect, I just need it to go around the white. If you want to spend a little bit more time perfecting yours, that's totally fine. I like to reach out, maybe just with some lighter blue here. Reach out, go around it, because this is glowing too. So white in the middle of that. Then I like to take my flat brush, put it in my white. I don't want it to be clumpy on the end. I want it to just be barely on the end. And then I'm going to go up right in the middle of it, go straight up, reaching past the circle. And having this brush like this helps me to make sure it's a straight line. And I do that exact same thing going down. So this is the star above the baby Jesus. And I do one going horizontal. That, and then I create an X, but my lines are just going to be a little bit smaller than these ones, so they're not going to go out as far. So right in between. and right in between. And there you have the star. Now you could create like maybe some smaller ones if you wanted in between. It's all up to you on if you want to be creative and change some things. I'm changing this from my last painting, so I'm kind of copying it, but not quite. And that's what's fun about painting. So you gotta be creative. So I'm grabbing my toothbrush and I'm dipping it in to my water because it's gonna help it splatter and be drippy. And then I'm going to add it to my white. So getting some paint on my white. On my brush. Getting some paint, white paint on my brush. And then I move it so that it's not all in one spot. And then I hold it up further away from my paper here because it'll go out further and not be so close. Now if I go close, it's going to be a lot of little ones all of a sudden right there. And this creates the stars. The other stars. You can make it as starry as you want. All depends on your personal preferences. Now go ahead and grab your wash brush and your black, and you're going to paint the ground. So I like to start right over here, and I still go over my black because there's now white dots over there. And I'm just gonna make mine a little bit of a hill. Dun, dun, dun. Not gonna make it straight across, just for some interest. I'm pulling that color down because it's nice and thick right there. The next thing to do is to grab your black and your flat brush, and you're going to make the part of the manger that it's standing on. So you want this straight line and keep the manger like in the middle. So you want this straight line going to the side right here. If you have water on your brush, then it'll just do what that did. So a slanted line like that. Now this is part of the manger. So this right here is going to be a triangle in between here. So you just go right here. And then on the other side. So almost reaching that one, but not quite. Same thing, and make a triangle. Your triangle's in the middle here. Like I said, this is part of your manger. So your manger is going to have this line come out like this, but it's going to be flat on the top. So if you had an angle brush, that's helpful, but I'm just showing you with very, very limited amount of supplies here. So straight across right here where the manger would sit, and follow that line to an edge. Go up as far as you think the thickness needs to be of the manger. Straight line across and let it poke on the edge. Then take your brush, slant over there, and that is how you create edges, nice edges. And then fill that in with black. Don't ask me why I did that. I made that thicker right there. Could just water it down and take it right off. Okay, and I don't like how unthick this is right here. So any changes you want to make, go ahead and make them. Okay, so I like to make the blanket part right here. So there's a little bit of a blanket. So I make like a little triangle area. And then I make the round face by twisting my brush. Now don't worry about that being like huge or whatever. You're just going to create another little lump from it that goes up. That's your baby. That's the blanket. So a nice little round face. This is the blanket area. Comes up around him. Okay, and then he has this little hand coming up, because you know how their hands are always flailing. So you want it to be up close against where his head would be. And I'm just making a little line. A little baby line. Okay. And that's your baby. Your baby is in the manger. So now you want to get the perspective right, okay? So I'm grabbing my round brush. You want your people to look bigger than the baby, right? So I'm going to start with the hands. And Mary over here, she's reaching in. So I got her fussing with her baby. And that's one of her hands. Or her arms, I mean. And then she has another arm right here at the very end, going up. Okay. And to have that, having one arm this way, she's got to be looking forward, or like facing forward a little bit. So I have her breast parts right here. I'm just going to call it that. And then I'm going to have her kneeling. So it comes down like this, goes in, and then it's her dress that comes out, and she's kneeling. So you want her kneeling with her knees down here. So I'm going to push this out just a little bit so it comes in. Okay, then her neck comes from here, because this would be her shoulders. This is her left shoulder, her left arm, and this is her right arm. So you gotta make that shoulder go round. and then follow her waist and her back. And I made it a little bit more right here because she's got this cloth on her head. Okay, and so I'm just going to have that cloth come out from her dress here and come down like that and fill that in. So the nice thing about it is it's a silhouette. You can always change things, erase things, take them off, whatever, as you see fit. She's looking at her baby, so her face is going to be round looking down. So how I make it look like she's looking down is I have this in the direction she's looking, and then I take her cloak and add the cloak starting right there. Fill that in. I can always go up a little bit, change this if I feel like it needs to be changed. I feel like her neck was kind of gone over a little bit, so I just add water to my brush and scrub out that area. And then I can always do the same thing right next to her face. If I want to add a little bit more dimension to it, I can give her a forehead and a nose. But like I said, this is not necessary. This is just if you want to get really technical. And then I dab it up with a paper towel. So it's not perfectly round. Give her a chin, a little bit better of a chin. You can keep it round. Okay, I promise you it'll still look good if you keep it round. This is getting a little bit more technical. So if you're not confident in painting, just leave this portion round. It's not a big deal. So right here is where her feet are kind of sticking out. So I like to give a little feet. Okay, so see, that's her bum, her feet, her knees are down. This is her waist. This is her cloth thing. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. That's her shoulder. That's her other hand. It's on the side, so you don't see all of it. Now you have the man, and the man needs a staff, and I like to make the staff just kind of crooked because they just had staffs that were crooked. So I'm going to start up here and make a staff, and I'm using this round brush because it makes it nice and crooked. So he is also going to be kneeling. and he's holding on to a staff. So I'm going to add his hand right here on the staff and his arm. But then he has his cloak on, so you just have this blob right here, and it's smaller right here, and it goes down. So you can make his arm a little bit bigger. Right? Let that go down, and then you come in. And then I like to start down here because I know where the staff is and I know where his knees are going to lie. So I'm going to have him like this, his knee, and then it goes in. And then comes out right over here. So you're looking at the thickness here. Here's his knees. His knees are down. He might be just in the process of starting to kneel. Comes out a little bit right here. Okay, he also has cloth on his head. So I like to just make sure I have a shoulder for him. So right here goes to that sleeve. See how it connects with the curved line like this? Fill in that area. Give him that nice shoulder. And then he has his neck. So neck right here. And I like to give him a beard on his chin because, you know, they didn't have shavers. They had knives. So it's not like it was easy. So I'm going to give him a beard. Whether I know he had a beard or not, who knows. And then I'm going to go up from that. Like this, curved. Give him a nose. Come back in. Like I said, this is a little more technical, so having your detail brush is helpful. Or you just give him a round face. Super easy. This is his forehead, and his cloak's on top. Does it have to be perfect? No. Now a lot of them had turbans, so you could decide to make like a turban for him. I like the cloth look, so I'm going to go with the cloth. I'm going to go with the cloth, and then I like to have this all filled in and looking wrinkled for some interest. Okay, so just look at that, decide if you want to change anything. Make sure it's filled in. Make sure that she looks smaller than he does. Not that you have to be smaller. But perspective wise, I'm going to make his cloth come down here and his knee hit right there a little bit better. And I'm going to make his cloth right here come up a little bit more, and his hand a little bit fatter here. See how I did that? Now it looks more like a fist. Now for just some finishing touches, I'm going to come in here and just bring down this white line, this white circle, just a little bit. so that it's right above the baby. And because I did it so loosely and it's so imperfect, it's not going to matter. Because it's not going to show the imperfections that much. Just kind of lighten this up. This is just a personal preference. Again, something fun to do. I'm just going to bring this line just a little bit out so he's included a little bit more, because see how the thickness is right here versus him? I love it. I think it's beautiful. Thank you so much for painting with me. I hope you had a lot of fun, and I hope you got to be creative, because that's super important to me and this channel and to yourself. Also, I hope you've hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you're notified whenever I make a new video, because you might want to come back and paint along with me. If you want to, go ahead and click right here to become a Createful Art member. You get weekly art lessons when you do that. You get the reference photos, templates, color mixing video, and other fun perks. And it also supports my channel and makes these tutorials possible. So thank you so much. Another way to support my channel, if you don't want to do that, is by hitting that share button and sharing it with your friends on social media. And then you can watch more videos, and I'll see you in my next video. Ta-ta for now!